I don't usually do 10-minute videos, and I'm not doing one tonight, but yesterday I practiced a big lesson that we talk about a lot, and I wanted to share it with you. Your circumstances do not create your reality. My husband had been having chest pains off and on all weekend, and they culminated kind of Monday. He felt like he needed to call the cardiologist and go in, and so he did, and they made an appointment for Tuesday at 3:15. Well, Tuesday at 3:15, I make syrup every single week, so there was no way for me to really go with him. Thankfully, our neighbor was able to watch our children. I was making syrup by myself yesterday, so it took me longer than it was going to, which means I wouldn't have been able to go to the appointment with him. And he was very, very nervous. This is where, when we talk about mental fortitude, that it really comes into play. Because one, I could have been really upset that I didn't have any help to make syrup, so I could have been there faster to go and see him and go with him to the doctor's office. But being angry only makes you less efficient, and I have to be more efficient when I'm by myself, not less. Number two, I could have stayed in my head all day long and thought, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And made up all of these different scenarios for things that could have happened if he went to the doctor and something was going on and he was having some kind of heart attack or something. Essentially, I could have let fear win yesterday. But when you practice the affirmations and the positive speaking and the being in the moment of where you are and not in the future moments, you build this mental fortitude so that when you're in a situation like that, it doesn't take your entire day and throw it into a tailspin. So there were a lot of moments that were blessings yesterday. One, we might be in a new store. My mom stopped by there yesterday and they said that they wanted to see our wholesale list. Number two, there's a distributing company in the mountains that might distribute our syrup and products all across that area. Number three, I got a sweet call from a lady, a customer named Jackie, that let me know that our syrup was out of stock. The quarts were out of stock on TikTok, and that was really, really helpful. And she told me how it has kept her healthy for 2 years. She's been on here mentioning that a couple of times. Number four, Mama's Kitchen, where I make the syrup, they made us dinner for 2 days so that we were able to focus on what was going on instead of having to figure out what's for dinner. Number five, my neighbor was able to watch the kids longer than 5 o'clock so that we were able to kind of get everything done instead of having to rush. Number six, when I posted on other social media sites that he needed prayers, I had somebody reach out and say, if you want me to play with the kids, feed them dinner, whatever, I got you. Number seven, all day long, I had my AirPods in my ear, and I played Apple Music, and they always play upbeat Christian music, and Just Breathe came on about 50 times, it felt like. I was always singing, Just Breathe. So yes, in the moment when I knew he was in there having his test by himself, did I cry? Yes. Did I let myself process those emotions? Absolutely. But I did not stop working, and that did not make my entire day bad. It was just one moment where I knew the results were up to God and I couldn't figure out what they were going to be. And in the end, his scan was normal. He does have high blood pressure, like really high for some reason, but his EKG was normal. So when I tell you that your circumstances do not create your reality, it only happens if you let it. If you let fear take over, if you let the what ifs and the unknown scare you into constantly making these things up in your mind. Stay focused on the moment. Stay focused on what you know. Let God handle what we don't know. I promise you got this. I love you guys.